Elon Musk, often hailed as a brilliant innovator pushing the boundaries of space travel and electric vehicles, has found himself at the center of a legal storm. When rumors first surfaced that he was filing a massive lawsuit against Whoopi Goldberg and the hosts of The View, most people assumed it was just more internet chatter. But it turned out to be true, a high-profile confrontation that has everyone talking. Today, we're diving into the details of this lawsuit and exploring why Musk decided to go after one of the most recognized talk shows on television. As soon as the lawsuit was made public, headlines exploded across social media. Some believe Musk is championing honesty in the media. Others insist he's an overpowered billionaire trying to silence critics. The shocking scale of this legal dispute has opened up deeper questions about personal accountability, free speech, and how media shapes public opinion. Strap in, because this case has more twists and turns than the usual celebrity feud, and it might just change how TV personalities address controversy in the future. For those who haven't been following, Elon Musk is no stranger to controversy or litigation. But even for someone used to the spotlight, the move to sue the hosts of a popular daytime talk show felt like a bombshell. According to the lawsuit, Musk is alleging defamation, intentional misinformation, and conspiratorial insinuations made on national television. The boldest claim is that the show's panel maliciously spread baseless theories, leaving Musk's reputation in jeopardy. Observers were immediately split. Some lauded Musk for standing up to what they see as unfounded allegations. Others felt uneasy about the precedent. A billionaire with virtually limitless resources taking a public stand against a TV program known for its outspoken hosts. Regardless, the question arose, why The View? Why focus on Whoopi Goldberg and her co-hosts? The answer appears to lie in several statements that Musk found exceptionally harmful.
Okay, I need to clean something up because my cat lays in wait for me on my stairs all the time. That's what I was thinking of that. I wasn't trying to indicate that they were actually standing there with their legs out, hoping he would trip.
From comments about alleged political scheming to insinuations that he was engaged in plots to manipulate government power. This isn't Musk's first dance with legal battles. He's gone head-to-head with the SEC, faced down critics over Tesla's financials, and clashed with journalists who questioned his leadership. Yet this time, the stakes seem different. The public nature of a daytime talk show, combined with the reach of mainstream networks, has sparked debates over whether commentary can cross the line from opinion into harmful defamation. Musk's critics argue that he's simply allergic to criticism. His supporters believe this step is long overdue, citing that sensational claims in the media often go unchecked, fueling mistrust and misinformation. The firestorm began when Goldberg and her co-hosts discussed a scenario involving the potential removal of former President Donald Trump from office. During this conversation, the name of J.D. Vance also popped up, creating a speculation-fueled sequence that placed Musk in a secret plan to seize or manipulate governmental control. The show painted a hypothetical situation wherein Elon Musk and J.D. Vance might be quietly positioning themselves to gain political power in the event of Trump's departure. What truly set the stage for legal action were the insinuations that Musk's motives went beyond mere political curiosity. According to the lawsuit, the hosts implied that Musk was positioning himself as a pseudo-president, someone who believes he already holds major influence over government policies. This speculation, says Musk's legal team, not only misrepresented his intentions, but also cast him as a shadowy figure orchestrating a power grab. Some viewers dismissed these remarks as typical talk show banter, largely opinion-based and hyperbolic. But Musk contends that the remarks took on a life of their own, especially when amplified across social media. He believes such statements can harm Tesla, SpaceX, and any other venture he's associated with. After all, if the public starts suspecting him of harboring unspoken political ambitions, that suspicion alone could generate economic fallout or sow distrust in his capabilities as a business leader. The question remains, did The View truly overstep with reckless, unverified claims, or is Musk overreacting to commentary protected by free speech? In an era when stories can spread like wildfire, news of Musk's lawsuit against Goldberg and her co-hosts lit up the internet. Hashtags like #support_Elon and #cancel The View trended simultaneously, reflecting how polarized the reaction was. On one side, dedicated Musk fans praised the move as a stand for truth and fairness. calling out mainstream media for manufacturing controversies to boost ratings. Others expressed concern that Musk's wealth allows him to weaponize lawsuits against any outlet that criticizes him. It wasn't just Twitter fueling the conversation. Major news networks covered the story with their own spin, dissecting whether Musk's argument had legal merit or if it was more symbolic. A shot across the bow to media figures who might be tempted to speculate too freely. The attention soared even higher when Musk, famous for his active social media presence, posted cryptic comments about accountability. He expressed frustration over how easily unverified theories can turn into fact if repeated often enough on popular platforms. Critics of The View jumped on the opportunity to highlight the show's history of provocative discussions. They cited previous controversies where hosts were accused of making incendiary remarks aimed at public figures. Meanwhile, supporters of The View argued that the show is built around opinionated, candid dialogue, exactly what viewers tune in for.
I've been saying it for a while.
Yes, you have.
I've been saying that I think Elon Musk believes he's president. I do.
Well, you've been calling him vice president.
I've called him vice president. I called him president because I don't know what JD is doing. I hardly ever say. I don't remember last time we even talked about JD.
You're right. He's planning the presidency when they get rid of Trump.
So you think it's Musk Vance?
Possible.
From their perspective, Musk's lawsuit is a direct threat to freedom of expression, potentially scaring other media personalities from voicing their views. Whichever side you lean toward, it's clear that the temperature has been turned up on a much larger conversation about how talk shows walk the line between commentary and defamation. One especially explosive twist in this drama involves the accusation that The View incited violence. During the segment in question, Goldberg allegedly made a joke about someone potentially tripping Trump if he were still in power. Musk's legal team claims that such remarks, even if meant humorously, could be interpreted as encouraging harm. Suddenly, the debate shifted from simple defamation to whether the hosts had crossed a line into endorsing real-world action against political figures. Goldberg, known for her comedic background, tried clarifying she was referencing a personal anecdote. Her cat sometimes lies in wait on her stairs, causing her to stumble if she's not careful. That context, she insisted, got lost in the conversation. Yet supporters of Musk argue that, intentional or not, the comments aired on national television for millions to hear. In today's politically charged environment, such statements might inflame tensions or create the impression that The View condones physical pranks or harm. Critics of Musk maintain that his lawsuit stretches the definition of incitement too far. They argue that comedic banter, especially in an unscripted format, shouldn't be equated with genuine calls to violence. After all, part of what makes talk shows interesting is their spontaneous nature, where hosts riff on current events. But Musk's team counters by pointing out how the line between a joke and an implied threat can blur when the stakes involve the possibility of harming someone, especially a former president. Whether you see this claim as overblown or justified, the conversation around it has reignited debates on the role of humor in political discourse and the responsibility of media personalities to be mindful of their words. It wasn't long before people started digging into past episodes, searching for examples that could illustrate whether Goldberg and her co-hosts have been consistent in their viewpoints. One clip began circulating where Goldberg once praised Donald Trump, calling him a friend. This older footage stood in stark contrast to her more recent statements criticizing Trump, causing some to label her approach as opportunistic. Critics argue that The View may tailor its stance depending on which opinions generate the most buzz at a given moment. From Musk's perspective, such flips in viewpoint show an overarching lack of reliability. If a talk show host can swing from admiration to scorn without clear reasoning, it casts doubt on how sincerely the hosts present their opinions. However, defenders of Goldberg maintain that people's opinions do evolve over time. They argue it's natural to reassess someone as new information emerges, especially in the ever-shifting world of politics. This isn't just about praising or condemning Trump, it's about whether a show claiming to offer genuine dialogue is truly practicing honest exploration of ideas or merely chasing sensational storylines. Musk's lawsuit leverages this tension by highlighting incidents he sees as evidence of ongoing bias. Supporters of The View see it differently, asserting that the show thrives on a diversity of opinions and that changes in stance might reflect nothing more than personal growth or a reevaluation of facts.
Put me in the movies,
yes,
right?
we
A
are
long time ago.
friends.
So how much did I judge? Nothing.
Like they say in the
It was a freebie. Whoopi, I love you. I'm telling you.
And they're trying to humanize him and change your idea about who this guy is. Don't fall for that.
Trump, you're talking about. Talking about Trump.
This shift.
Whether you applaud or despise Elon Musk, one thing is undeniable. His legal action has drawn widespread attention to the standards and practices of popular talk shows. In the United States, the right to free speech is a cornerstone, but so is the right to protect one's reputation from slander. Navigating these two values is complex. How do we preserve open dialogue without enabling harmful allegations to spread unchecked? Musk's lawsuit shines a spotlight on how talk shows craft narratives, sometimes with incomplete facts or speculation designed to hook viewers. Critics of mainstream media argue that, in a bid for higher ratings, these programs can lean toward dramatic headlines and sensational bits, often at the expense of fair representation. Musk's supporters see this lawsuit as a wake-up call. They argue that if high-profile figures like Musk can't stand up to what they deem defamatory remarks, then lesser-known individuals have no hope of defending themselves against larger media platforms. On the other hand, opponents warn that if wealthy personalities sue every time they're offended, it sets a chilling precedent. Talk shows, news commentary, and satire have long been part of the cultural landscape. If the legal system is used too liberally, it could suppress the free exchange of ideas, one of the foundations of a healthy democracy. So, we're left with a tough question. Is Musk's case a necessary corrective measure or the start of a slippery slope? What does reform look like in a climate where viewers crave provocative content, yet also demand accountability? For some, the answer is stricter fact-checking procedures. They believe shows like The View should employ real-time researchers who can quickly verify or challenge claims before they spin out of control. Others call for more transparent editorial guidelines, so audiences understand where the line is drawn between personal opinion and factual reporting. Musk's supporters emphasize that this lawsuit isn't about stifling debate, but about preventing reckless misinformation. They say that, in an ideal outcome, The View and similar platforms would be more mindful about how they present controversial stories, ensuring that wild speculations aren't treated as fact. Conversely, critics fear that adopting overly rigid standards could sanitize talk shows to the point of losing their spontaneity. They note that part of the draw is hearing real, unfiltered opinions, even if those opinions sometimes miss the mark. Regardless of which side you fall on, the lawsuit underscores a larger shift in public consciousness. People are becoming more aware of the media's role in shaping narratives, and they're less inclined to take statements at face value. Whether this surge in scrutiny leads to constructive changes or fuels more division remains uncertain. But for now, the debate is tearing through social media, news outlets, and living rooms alike, making everyone question how talk shows ought to handle hot-button issues. One reason this case has drawn so much attention is the power dynamic at play. Elon Musk is not just another celebrity. He's a billionaire with transformative projects like SpaceX and Tesla, and a global reach that few figures can match.
As I believe, Elon Musk is the actual vice president.
You've said that.
And yes, I believe that, because I think that JD Vance, he's kind of an interim, but I believe that Musk is he's the real actual vice president. He's making decisions, he's doing things. So I think, why doesn't he have to give up X?
Opposite him is ABC, one of the largest broadcasters in the United States, armed with a daytime talk show that has millions of loyal viewers. When two colossal forces collide, the impact reverberates far beyond the usual realm of gossip. Supporters of Musk argue that he's merely using the resources at his disposal to defend himself, something any citizen has the right to do. But critics point out that Musk's financial clout could intimidate smaller media outlets. If a large network like ABC can get sued by Musk, what's stopping him or others in his league from taking on local journalists or smaller platforms who don't have the legal budget to defend themselves? This collision also stirs broader sentiments about corporate influence in politics and media. Musk has never been shy about using his presence to advocate for issues he cares about, ranging from environmental policy to space exploration. Meanwhile, The View consistently tackles subjects that shape public opinion. Their confrontation is emblematic of the tension between those who believe in robust free expression, even if it sometimes borders on the outrageous, and those who call for greater accountability. Defamation lawsuits are nothing new. Public figures, from musicians to politicians, have occasionally turned to the courts to clear their names. Yet what makes this case stand out is its scope and the personalities involved. If Musk succeeds, some media analysts predict that other high-profile individuals might follow suit more aggressively, feeling emboldened to push back against perceived slights. On the flip side, if Musk's case fails, it could strengthen the hands of talk shows and journalists, giving them greater latitude to speculate without immediate legal repercussions. Meanwhile, the public is left grappling with practical concerns. Will talk shows change their tone if they risk being dragged into court for every controversial comment? Will legal battles become the norm rather than the exception when celebrities or public figures hear something they don't like? There is a delicate balance here, and whether that balance tilts one way or another could set a new precedent in how the American media landscape evolves. The question also arises, is this a future we actually want? Some fear that an uptick in defamation suits will discourage robust discussions on matters of public interest. Others see it as a necessary corrective to a system that, they argue, has become too comfortable with half-truths and rumor-mongering. Whichever view resonates with you, there is no denying that the outcome of Musk's case could reverberate through legal departments across the country. The battle lines are drawn. On one side stands an immensely wealthy entrepreneur determined to protect his name, and on the other, a popular daytime show famed for its unfiltered takes. While Elon Musk's lawsuit raises immediate questions about whether Whoopi Goldberg and her co-hosts truly overstepped, it also shines a glaring spotlight on larger issues plaguing modern media. Sensationalism, potentially false narratives, and the precarious tension between free speech and accountability are all under the microscope. If Musk's actions lead to more responsible reporting and discourage reckless speculation, perhaps viewers and public figures alike will be better off. Alternatively, if the lawsuit paves the way for aggressive clampdowns on talk show discussions, we might lose the spontaneous debates that add color to public discourse. At its heart, this showdown isn't just about a billionaire's bruised ego or a TV show's fiery commentary. It's about how we, as a society, choose to handle rumors, criticism, and the undeniable power of words on a national stage. So, where do we go from here? Do we need stricter rules for public commentary, or is the clamor for reform just another invitation for censorship? The stakes are high, and the arguments on both sides are compelling. As viewers, voters, and part of an ever-evolving digital landscape, we have a role in deciding what kind of media environment we want. Elon Musk's lawsuit may just be one case, but its ripples could shape talk shows, journalism, and even social media practices for years to come. What do you think? Is Musk's lawsuit a necessary blow to reckless speculation, or a billionaire's attempt to muzzle his critics? Share your insights, continue the conversation, and remember to stay informed. Because this saga is far from over, and the next chapter might be even more unpredictable.